we gotta get a red or green. Probably red behind us. That's Christmas. Kind of like blood Christmas, isn't it? What's up, gang? Welcome to Room and Board. Happy holidays to all. My name is Chris George, and today we're going over a holiday gift guide. The top 10 gifts to get for board gamers that aren't more board games. Because there's a lot of lists out there like, oh, top 10 games for Christmas. But speaking from personal experience, my parents, well, they refuse to buy me board games anymore because I've got too many on my shelf behind me. But hopefully, the last game they bought me was Seafall. Hopefully now that I've played a bunch of Seafall and have talked about how much I like it in multiple places and on multiple channels, maybe they will finally break that embargo. It's true. That's the only reason I've been talking about it. It's actually garbage. But I've needed to trick them in time for my Christmas gifts. I'm just kidding. Still a great game. Still great for people who like Legacy. And probably a good gift because it's usually on sale, and when it's on sale for cheap. And it's also something they definitely won't buy for themselves out there because of all the haters. But this list is not about games. It's about the other things. Because, like I said, you might know somebody that you want to get them a gift for Christmas, and all they love is board games. And that's fair. That's pretty much all I love as well. But they have such a large collection that getting them a board game doesn't feel as meaningful as something else. Or you don't have access to their wish list, or they don't have a wish list. They just have a pan-applicable, I like board games, I want more. And it gets into that feeling of, well, they have so many, it's really not going to be that special or thoughtful gift that you want it to be. And since I am my father's special boy, well, allow me to cover both of those bases for you. And I know I said top 10, and it's not going to be top 10, it's going to be closer to 15 or 16, really. But I've tried to group these together in a way so that I don't just say, number 10 is a bag of elastics, which legitimately, that's number 10. It makes a great stocking stuffer. We'll talk about that in a second. But before we do that, a caveat before we get into this list is that these aren't pan-applicable. You will know if the gamer in your life will like these or if they won't. And if you don't know, well then you can ask casually or about one of them or whatever. I'll try to think of some segues for you. When in doubt, just tie it back to the shipping containers. You say, oof, oh, those shipping containers are still out at sea. I bet they're carrying lots of elastics. I bet they're carrying lots of insert list item here. Hey, speaking of that item, what do you think about that? No suspicion will occur whatsoever. Anyway, this intro is, as my intros usually are, too long, so let's get into it. There's a range of prices here from stocking stuffers to full gifts, but for the most part, I've tried to keep every suggestion under $100, which is still a lot. And so because of that, with every suggestion, there will also be, or with most suggestions, there will be a budget way of going about this as well. If you have a spend $0 on Christmas or spend $10 on Christmas, whatever, there should be something here too, I hope. And if I missed something, make sure to drop it in the comments so that everybody can get ideas as well. So enough of that. Number 10 are stocking stuffers, and yes, it's a bag of elastics, or little storage containers. Now they're on the other side of the table. Or sleeves, if a gamer particularly likes to sleeve their game. Just give them a whack of plastic baggies. These are great stocking stuffers, especially if they're just getting into the hobby and they haven't already raided a craft store for their own little supply. Because it's fun to organize your games in an optimal way, and having the plastic baggies, the little storage containers, or the elastic tape, you can get this non-sticking tape as well if people are precious about their cards. I'm not. I use just a regular elastics, that's fine. But there's also, I've heard, if you get bondage tape, it's bondage tape, this doesn't damage the cards and it sticks to itself and not the cards, so it keeps the cards in a nice firm deck. I said deck. And this is actually something I haven't tried but would be very interested to try because I've heard a lot of people like and enjoy it. So check that out. If you want something on the larger end of this sort of organizing and optimizing way, I'd recommend a laminator. If your person plays a lot of roll and writes or D&D, or they want more Castles of Burgundy maps that they've printed out, you can get a really cheap laminator online. I think it was like 30 bucks Canadian. So it doesn't break the bank. And it might be a cool thing to help with that sort of storage, keeping in mint condition category that this umbrella is. Now onto one that's a little bit more fun number 9 is an escape room gift card. And I know we're still kind of in the pandemic, and I have an escape room gift card that I haven't yet used, but it's getting almost to the point where I might use them. And that's why this one is on number 9. I guess I should have said I'm ranking these in which I think the best is at number 1, but I think they're all good. This is why this one is at number 9. So you know your gamer's comfort level, you know the restrictions in the land that you live until, of course, you know, the holidays happen and we get our 74th wave of this pandemic. But an escape room gift card is great because it's also something that you can do together with the person. So you're also kind of buying yourself a Christmas gift as well. So for those of you who like gifting experiences, look into an escape room, look up the reviews, say, I think this would be cool, get a gift card, and then say, hey, we're gonna go together and do this. And you can take a couple other people as well. Or invite the people and make them pay for themselves, because, yeah, we're not made of money. Or we won't be after this list. On to number 8. So number 8 is upgraded components or upgraded pieces for a specific favorite game. If there's a game that the gamer in your life always likes to play, check out on Etsy or somewhere if there are any upgraded pieces, because deluxe components are fun. But for me, I know I don't want deluxe components for every game. You don't need them. But to have them for your favorite game, to really bling out the game that you are constantly playing over and over again, that's kind of neat. If your favorite game is Betrayal at House on the Hill, for example, they're notoriously known for their character boards to suck with the little notches that you have to put it on. So they have come out with an upgraded character board which has better notches and cooler looking dice. Completely unnecessary to the game experience, but if that's your person's favorite game, well, that would be an awesome upgrade. And there's a lot of deluxeifications that can happen for a wide variety of games. So you can search on Etsy, just search favorite game deluxe bits or deluxeification, and that should lead you down an interesting path. A lot of people like metal coins as well, and sometimes games can have specific metal coins. That particular game, it just replaces the plastic with metal, and people like the feel of it. It makes you feel a little bit more bougie. So I think that's always a good idea for a gift, and depending on how much it costs, that could be a stocking stuffer or the main event. And kind of going along this line, our number 7 is custom dice or a custom score track. And these are their separate points because number 8 is game specific, and this one is a general upgrade. Sometimes there are pieces that can apply to a wide variety of things. If your person is really interested in role playing, then having their own set of dice that is kind of customized to their character or is in their favorite colors, that's kind of a neat thing. If they're constantly playing games with a lot of scoring, having just a pan-applicable custom score track might be cool. I don't know if that one particularly would be something that I'd be interested in because I would hate fiddling and pulling it out. But if it's like customized and you always play with the same people and you always play the certain games and you make little meeples that have your names on them or something, come on, that's cute and cool and unique to that gaming person. So kind of similar to number 8, but it's its own separate thing because remember, they don't have to be game specific. They could just be a cool pair of custom dice or something that could be applicable to all things. Now, number 6 is quite simply board game coasters. That's it. Everybody's got to put their drink somewhere and not on the table where the condensation can leak out all over the components. And plus, these are sorts of things that are kind of non-invasive. If you want to just have a cute little thing that's a little nod that can be out on the table all the time, even when you're not playing games, I think the coasters fit the bill. Another great idea would be a board game calendar. If you search board game mosaic calendar, you'll probably find a good one. There's a woman, Katya, who creates these, and she does a Kickstarter for them every year. And so that's another thing that is kind of a fun gift to have up in the house, always having that board game presence, but it's not specifically related to a specific game or playing a specific game. Or if you really want to get crazy and you're thinking coasters, calendar, give me some real deals. Still, this is still number 6, get them an entire table. Yeah, you want to spend money? Okay, buy them a $3,000 board game table with a recessed inlay and something to cover it up top. But this is obviously space dependent, and make sure that they would really enjoy it before you spend all of that money. Me personally, I don't have a board game table. I have a smaller space. I need to be able to pack things up and push things to the side when people aren't over so that it doesn't encompass the whole room. But I do have, this is the IKEA Gat Leg table, which is fantastic. It's a great size and it has 2 leaflets. Both of these leaflets fold down. So it's just one skinny little thing you can put onto the side, and it is a pretty decent for most games. It's not the biggest table of them all, but it's still pretty good. And it was like, I don't know, $100 Canadian, 117. I got it off Kijiji for 60. That's why it always clicks because the previous owner didn't screw it in right. But if you want that sort of larger gift, are they always complaining that their table isn't big enough for games? That might be a consideration. Get them a nice big table that folds out, obviously pertaining to their style and home decor as well, because, you know, that's significant. Now, number 5, now we're getting to the good stuff. We're through all the trash. Number 5, you can get them a custom insert for their favorite game. And having a custom insert is nice. It's nice for setup. It helps get the game to the table more. And you know what? It just makes it a little fancier. It's, again, sort of that deluxeification of a specific game. I don't think you need it for everyone, but it is kind of a treat to have for specific ones. Now, if you don't have a lot of money, because these things can be pretty expensive, like $100, whatever, then make a custom insert for their favorite game if they don't have one. Take it aside, take all the measurements. I have another video about making inserts. It's something that I have discovered I really enjoy doing, and I really enjoy what it does to the game setup as well. So that's a perfect, you can spend $0 on a gift idea if you have those sorts of parameters. Just take their favorite game, do the measurements, build it away at your little Santa's workshop while they're asleep, spend all the artistic time you need to make it look exciting. And then just wrap up their favorite game as the gift. And you say, here it is. They'll open it and say, I have this. You say, open it. I think that would be a hit. Do that either way. Unless they would take joy from building the insert. If you buy an insert online and that comes not assembled, but you assembled, if they would take joy from that, well then, you know, don't deprive it. But I think that opening the lid and seeing the insert, that's kind of cool. So that's number 5. Buy an insert, build an insert. Or you want to get real crazy? Buy an entire 3D printer. There's another one for you in the insert category. Just make sure that they're interested enough in that sort of printing process to make it worth the while, and that it's not just sitting on a shelf. Again, I'll try to keep reinforcing this. Gamer specific. You know your person better than I do, except one of you. I know them better, and really you should work that out. But yeah, that's number 5, the insert category. Now number 4 is the clothing category. More specifically, get them a shirt or a skirt from Ludo Cherry. Now Ludo Cherry is a company, they have more formal, slightly more formal than my current Christmas wear. Right now, they have more formal shirts, like think button-ups, think skirts. They're expensive, they're pricey, but the patterns on them don't look like your typical t-shirt with a board game logo printed on it. They look like a interesting pattern, and then when you look a little bit deeper, you see that it's actually little dice, or it's actually little meeples on there. It's a really cool company. They've now launched their web store. They made a post a little while ago in a Facebook group that I'm part of, and I looked at their stuff and I thought, this is really neat. And it's nice sort of fancy upscale clothing that has that sort of cheeky hint of a board game nod that you can get away with not being outed as the big old nerd that you are if you were to wear it at a dinner party, for example. Or if your person doesn't like stuff like that, then get them that cool, funny board game shirt. There are tons of board game shirts out there. You can search on Etsy or just anywhere online. Or board game jewelry as well. You get a meeple earring, some meeple cufflinks, those cute little things. Again, you know your person, you know their style, if they would like this sorts of thing. But there is a lot of like board game clothing out there that I wasn't really aware of. I really like the subtle jewelry, and I really do think Ludo Cherry's designs are pretty cool. So check them out as well. That's my number 4, your board game clothing category, but specifically Ludo Cherry. Now number 3, and I know this list is that aren't more board games, and this might break it, but I don't care, it's my list. Get them an expansion to their favorite game. And now it's not a full game, so I think I'm allowed to put it on here. But I think expansions are always really good ideas for gifts because, yeah, they may have a large collection. You don't know what games they want, but you do know what games they have, and you do know what games they talk about a lot. So if there's a particular game that they love, that they really enjoy playing, there might be an expansion for that game that they don't already own. And if you get them that expansion, that's also a little bit more special because you're saying, hey, I know you like this game, here's more of that thing. I think an expansion, if you don't want to buy them another board game because you're not sure if they're going to like them, I think expansion is a really good kind of middle ground compromise on that. They still get their box, they still feel like they got a board game, but it also just enhances a game that they already enjoy and already play. So number 2 is a board game poster. By the way. Hey everyone, Editing Chris here. This is what happens when you move your microphone to the side and then it stops working. Luckily it's only for number 2 because then I stopped. So I'm just gonna cut in here quickly to talk more about the board game posters, which is number 2, and they are awesome. I'll put some images on the screen right now. These are from the Board Game Geek store, their artist series, and they're pretty cool. They take a game and they take the theme of the game and then they turn it into this different art piece. So it's not just like you're hanging up the board game boxes on the wall, which I have seen people take the images and put them in frames and it looks pretty cool. But these, they take like a really neat artistic spin on them. And so if you like one of these games, why not get a cool art piece that is a board game but also can exist outside of the board game theme. It should appeal to everyone. The hardcore gamers get this unique art design of their favorite game, and the semi-hardcore gamers, I mean, they're probably hardcore, that's why you're interested in purchasing them gifts, but those who aren't as overt, those who keep the curtains closed on their collection, well, then they can not be embarrassed to hang up something this cool in their house as well. So my neighbor got a couple of these. He got the one for Root, and they look really cool, would look wonderful in a frame, and so that's why they're my number 2. I just think they are top notch. I find Board Game Geek store a little hard to search, but if you just search Google Board Game Geek Artist Series or BGG Store Artist Series, or if you're at the BGG store, you can just search Artist Series. They've had a number of them. They always do them in batches of 4, and you can get the batch of 4 for like a cheaper amount, or you can just purchase the individual ones. So just purchase the ones that your person really likes. Thank you for bearing with the switch and this audio switch. Now back to the better view. If it wasn't 11 o'clock at night, I would re-record it. I'd re-record the whole thing so that my 2 cowlicks weren't distracting me the whole time. But that's what we get. It's Christmas. It's the holidays. We'll just love ourselves. Now, see you later. Back to past Chris, who didn't have these sorts of problems to worry about. And our number 1. Here we go. Yeah, this is mine. It's about this big, this wide. And it is, of course, a board game bag. This one is from BoardGameTables.com. I got this for Christmas from my parents, and it's awesome. You can wear it like a backpack, or you can just carry it on your shoulder. That's generally what I do. And it's not that thick material, but it does the job and it's really durable. Hasn't worn out yet. It's got these little feet on it, so if in case you're putting it on the ground and the ground's a bit wet, it still protects the bag and then the moisture doesn't soak through. And it also folds down pretty nicely. And I just keep it along the side somewhere. I haven't really stress tested it in like harsh weather because I'm not gonna do that. I don't want to damage my bag. I want it to last a long time. This isn't a review copy. It was an expensive gift, but I've really, really enjoyed using it this past year, just putting games in it and looking at it. But yeah, that's my number 1, is a board game bag. If your person doesn't have one, definitely something to consider. And that brings us to our number 0. We've got a bonus, and this one, you know, it doesn't come from a store. This one, in fact, might mean a little bit more. I think Michael Scott said that. But this one is just time. It's really just time. Time to play games. A whole day dedicated to playing games, even the ones that you hate, and do it with a smile. I know really, that's all I really want for the holidays, is to get together with people that I care about and play games with them. That's it. That's my perfect life. Let's be real. If there is a $0 spending budget, that's okay. Pull out the old coupon deal and say, yes, I will play that game of blank with you. This entitles you to 1 day. Or I've booked off the next 3 days. We're going to have our own little board game convention, just the two of us or whatever. Because what's better than getting games or getting stuff? It's playing games with the people that we care about. That's why time is the number 0. Always going to be an incredible gift. It's always probably going to happen naturally anyway. So yeah, throw in the stuff that costs the money. But I saw this post online recently and I thought it was so brilliant. And you can start today, December 1st. That's when I'm putting it out. And that is, of course, the board game advent calendar. And it's not filled with things. It's filled with games that you're going to play. 1 game a day up until Christmas Eve. And you can plan out what games they are. You can plan out if they're, lighter weight. If it's a, weekday and you have to go to work the next day, on the weekend you can get into some heavier ones. Giving that advent calendar gift might be pretty cool. A pretty neat thing to do. Or just do the 12 days of board gamesmas and play 12 games up until that important holiday. Whether or not you celebrate Christmas, you celebrate Hanukkah, you celebrate nothing, you celebrate being together, you celebrate the time off that you have from work. Doesn't matter. You can still do it. And providing that opportunity of time and that opportunity of playing games and playing more games than you might do is an awesome, awesome gift. So that's it. The top 10, I don't know how many there were, 16, 17, 18, I don't know. Well, I'm sure 10 of them were good. So the top 10 gifts to get for the board gamer in your life that aren't just more board games. Let me know what I missed. Let me know what you're getting the board gamer in your life, as long as they don't also tune into this YouTube channel and will see your comment, and that'll ruin the surprise completely. Yeah, let me know if there are any other ideas. What do you do around the holidays as well to spend time with each other? I think that's cool. Just to know, just to hear traditions, etc. Anyway, that's it for me. Thank you everyone for watching. If you haven't already, if this is your first time at the channel or third time at the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the like button, because it really helps the channel grow. I'd appreciate it a lot. No matter what you celebrate, I hope you have a wonderful December. My name's Chris George. I don't have a catchphrase, but a picture is worth 1,000 words. This was in the very bottom of a suitcase, and the amount of things I had to pull from the closet to get to it, but I think we can say that it was worth it. See you next time.